zonna ndabako obuntu oba ready wabo butegeeza ki
butegeeza tuli live
tuli live
kakati Mr. Mugabi this podcast feel free ngenda kubuza ekibuzo mu Luzungu but feel free if you feel comfortable translating in Luganda or mix English and Luganda it doesn't matter.
Do you understand Lingala?
Lingala simutegeera bulungi nnyo naye waliwo abajja omutegeera kakati
let's talk to them. Let's talk chicka. Let's talk to them. Let's talk to let's talk to them. Let's talk chicka. Let's talk to them. Yeah, I'm from a beautiful place, the Pearl of Africa. Hailing with a 256, it's in my blood. That's a gem where the mountains rise. With stories untold, the tapestry of cultures unfolding so vibrant and bold. A symphony of stars, a celestial light. The drums beating, echoing through the night, just like a beacon of light. A reflection that's coming up from the Nile. I'm flowing straight into the heart of Africa with timeless stories untold. What's up, dog?
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year! No, sorry, let's begin.
You can even say Happy New Year because this is the first time I'm talking to you this year, and I'm excited.
Happy New Year!
Yes, and people can still say Happy New Year even till we're still in February, so it's just 1 month. Yeah. February. So Happy New Year is good.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. But I'm so honored to have you on my podcast. I'm excited to have you today. And to the listeners, welcome to another episode of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show, where I bring you famous people, celebrities, regular people, and anybody and everybody out there that wants to come here and have a conversation with me, and we learn a thing or two from these people that inspire us, that we look up to. And today I'm honored to have the one and only Mr. Kenneth Mugabi. Welcome to my podcast.
Woo! Thank you very much for having me. I hope to ensonga.
Yes, but before even I start, I have a lot of people who listen to my podcast that are your fan. They like your music, they like everything. But I'm going to point out two people. She's always on Instagram. She's my friend and she loves your music a lot. I think she goes by Candy. She really loves your music. And then there's another one, Bamuita Nachijova. She's in the US. She likes Nachijova Vivian. Ayagala nyo music. When namagami mbungenda kuwela podcast. Bagambe webali nyo kutwetera musajja yo. So, and to all my other listeners that I've not mentioned the name, who love your music, we are excited to have you here and learn a thing or two from your journey. So, akombali njagala nkayiseo. Since
nakandi nkulamusiza nenachi malamusizako
since obudde butukwata, I'll try to get the important things out to the people that people might want to listen to from your journey. But we're going to start with the most important one, the Tales of Mugabi album recording at National Theatre. I think you released that on the 14th of January. I think that was was it your first live album recording? How was that like?
You know, all my albums the way I do is a reflection of my journey. The first album, Chibonom, the second album, Ugandan album, the third album, People of the Land, and now Tales of Mugabi. So we recorded Tales of Mugabi on 14th January. It was supposed to be 7th, but Omanyi bin maybe to quarter, then we pushed it to 14th January. So, and this album was supposed to be my first album. And that is, I wrote most of the songs like 10 years ago.
Wow.
12-ish years ago. I was still at campus. So, but the album, by the time I wrote it, it was older than me. I don't know if you understand that. You know how you do certain things and all of a sudden you feel like, nah, this is not you. So I had to wait. You have to wait for the music to mature and also the vessel that through which the music comes through to also mature and become one. And once they become one, now that's what happened to Tales of Mugabi. But it was my first time to record new material live with a full band. Yes, new material. Most of the times we record already recorded material.
Yeah.
But now this time around we record a new material.
Mm-hmm.
Never heard of. Okay, one song maybe, but never heard of. And then we are going to present it to people.
Yeah. Are you gonna present it? So you recorded it live. Are you gonna do like a live performance of that too, of the album?
Yes, in September.
Okay. Oh, in September.
I recorded it live. Yes, I recorded it live and I invited people. I put a price for value, but few came in, which was an advantage to me because had they been many, I don't think we would have recorded, without that. No, God, yeah, we love you. I'm like, oh, shh, please keep quiet. We are recording. So I'm on in September. That's when the concert is Tales of Mugabi concert. That's when we shall, perform the entire body.
I have to be on your concert, Sebo.
should.
Because I've mentioned those two people that love your music, but I'm also like a big fan of your music. And when you're listing your albums, I think I resonated a lot with the Ugandan album Uganda. It's some good songs. Like I'm not even gonna try to sing your voice, but like, those songs like I really resonate with a lot of people. But I saw also you featured on Afri's album with that song Gusulawano. And recently you just shot a video. How was it like working with Afri? I've had conversation with different people and they've mentioned Afri and they wanted me to have Afri on the podcast too. And I also noticed like it was produced by Wake, who has been a guest on my podcast. How was that collaboration like with Afri?
Now, I've seen that couple since campus days. Wake and Afri. And that is, we used to perform at a jam session that was at Makere Guest House. It was called Nyege Nyege. I'm forgetting the full name, but Nyege. It was hosted by Nyege.
Okay.
There's a band called Nyege that used to host it back in the day, in campus times. So that's where I met Wake and Afri. And years passed by, Afri sent me a song. She was playing piano. And then I liked the song. In a few minutes, I wrote the verse. I sent it back to her. And guess what? Years passed by. I hear a song out. I'm like, Afri. Oh, like, come on. I'm supposed to be on this song. Yeah. Why aren't I on this song? I had to fight for my rights.
Yeah.
and Afri was like, okay. You've stated your case. Let me talk to Wake. And I will talk to Wake. And within a nick of time, recording was done. And after recording, Afri was like, come. We are shooting a video. And I'm like, do you want me to come the way I am? Or no, just come the way you are. I'm like, okay. No makeup, I just come. We went to Entebbe, we shot the video. It was quick, actually. Everything was quick. Recording was quick. Shooting the video everything was quick. I guess maybe good stuff usually is quick. And after that, the people loved the song.
People really love the song. I love the song. And the visuals too match the song. And I don't think there's a song of Kenneth Mugabi that I say, every song you play, just the melody, the voice and everything. And I'm not saying this because you're on my podcast. It's reality. And even before the recording, I was waiting while listening to some of your music, and it's really amazing. People who talk about Kenneth Mugabi's music, they know those are the people who love music and understand music. Instagram, why Oinako quote you're posting one day that says, "I'm going to achieve our dream." That quote, you have it somewhere on your Instagram. What does that say to you, or when you posted it, what your take is that?
That is song number 4, 5. Can I read them one? I think it's a. Let me first. That is song number. Let me see here. Song number. Our dream, song number 4. Yeah, I was right. That is song number 4 of Tales of Mugabi.
Okay.
And that song, Our Dream, I didn't write the lyrics. There's a friend of mine back at campus. She's called Irene Ndagire. It's a coincidence. For some reason, Irene Ndagire, my mother was called Irene. Like her maiden name was Irene. And her being a Mumbeja, Luantale, Ndagire also had that Ndagire name. Some is a Chimbeja name, others is not a Chimbeja name. So she was a year ahead of me at campus. And then we were trying to write songs about our mothers, And man, I had lost my mother in 2008. So for some reason, I didn't have what to write. Everything I had was sad. You'll hear the tales of Mugabe. Those songs that I had back then, they were sad. And I happened to put on Tales of Mugabe. So that specific song, she wrote, I asked her to write something that, exalts mothers, Mama Mulonji, Mama Mama Uliba Otianga, Siri Toliwo, Ndibantenga Stoliwo. And guess what? She wrote it's like my spirit went to her and ministered to her that she wrote the exact lyrics the way I wanted them. Not the way I asked her to write, but the way I wanted them. And I'm like, this is it. So I went to Bukenya, my pianist. I play with him. He got me some chords. There's some, we did some chords there in piano room back at campus, Makerere University. And then I came up with a melody. So the words were by Irene Ndagire. There's a poem, a long poem. And then the chords, the music by Bukenya, and then the melody by Kenneth Mugabi. So Our Dream is a song that is to all those who lost mothers. That I'm like, whatever we do, we're doing most of us, especially boys, we do it for our mothers. You get. If our mothers are not there, we try to transfer that love to our girlfriends or wives. If they're not there, we try to transfer that love to our daughters. So that song is about, resilience, that, hey, you're no longer here, but I'm still going on with our dream. I'm still, in it.
And that's powerful right there. That's why when I looked at those, even I didn't see the whole lyrics. Now just that line, I'm going to achieve our dream. Like that's so powerful and speaks volumes to the people. I can't imagine what the whole lyrics is like too, and I can't wait to check it out. But also it reminds me, like when we achieve things in life, you always hear people say, I did it, mama, I made it. Like that's the love that we always just go towards that. You have had some huge performances that I've seen, especially being out of the country. Sometimes I find these things on YouTube or some clip on Instagram. I want to specifically point out two of them. The one of Serena, I think that was like 2 years back, 1 year back. And then the Nyege Nyege.
People of the Land.
People of the Land
concert.
That was dope. And then the recent one in Nyege Nyege. Just talk about your experience in those two.
My experience is I think my experience is quite different from other artists. Because I've grown in, performing live. I've grown in the set that I did at People of the Land it's almost the same set I've been doing over and over and over and over. Though each concert I do, each album I do, I do a concert. Chivunom album, I did Strings of My Soul. That was a National Theatre 2018. Ugandan album, I did a concert for it in 2019 at Design Hub. And People of the Land album, I did a concert for it at Serena. That is 2023. And I'm also doing another concert for Tales of Mugabe in 2025. So those performances, the Ugandan, the Serena one is a whole story. That's a long story because we even got glitches. If I tell you that I didn't do sound check on that concert, you'll be like, no, you're lying. There's a lot of things that are not going right at that concert, but the music had to go on. And guess what? People had fun. despite of the much rain that rain that day, despite of the a lot of jam that happened that day, despite of all the challenges that happened that day, people showed up. They had the time of their lives. I was actually watching up there on stage and seeing people sing almost every song I'm singing, and I'm like, guys, you came to see me sing. You didn't come here to see you sing. So it was a blessing. Nyege Nyege was another. Oh my goodness! If I tell you that I didn't do sound check on Nyege Nyege, yet I came very early. But still something. With when what this teaches me is, there's a quote I did long time ago. It is better to be ready without an opportunity than to have an opportunity when you're not ready.
Yeah,
you get?
That's deep.
Yes, because all those opportunities were there, but there were a lot of glitches. So, are you going to perform or you're not going to perform? People will not want to know that there's a glitch. They don't want to know. People, all they want, yes, you're here, entertain us. We don't want to know that the sound is about what. We don't want to know that over your shoe is what, over your guitarist did what, over your who did what. We don't want to know. All you want is you perform. So, man, if I'm to start talk about Nyege Nyege, all people of the land, all those performances were totally different. They all had glitches, but they turned out to be the best. For some reason, I don't know, but they turned out to be the best. I've learned to work under such, circumstances.
And that's why I pointed out those two, because like even without you telling me that, I wouldn't have known. Like, and that's why when people love your music, we won't know unless you tell us like, oh, this happened, but we don't even notice. Like even I would say, I don't think a lot of people even might notice like you didn't do sound check, but unless you talk about it, they'll never really understand that. But one thing I have to
they don't even need to know.
One thing I have to appreciate you, and I tell it to the people that I feel like they represent that very well, is like you keep your humanity and your personality even when you're famous. You keep down to earth to people, like abantu bawansi nga, you connect with those people and you still show them love. I like that about you, and that sets you different from other artists. Like you connect with the people and you still keep yourself to, or like I don't know the right word to put it, but like ori famous naengera ori
kankusala ekirimi.
Yeah.
One thing you should know, that this thing called a gift, sigwe ya chewa. Once you know that in sigwe ya chewa, it will solve a lot of things. It will solve a lot of insecurities you have in you. Because most of those things, those are insecurities. Okay, oyimba, people love you. Why do you have a bodyguard?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe you need a bodyguard while you have someone threatening your life. I don't know. This thing you present it to people, because no nasigala mu kisenge kyoba mu kinabiranga joyimbira with those beautiful acoustics in the bathroom. Era ojaga onyomanyi kanda ngimbireko wali mbantu and see what is happening. Abantu abo benyine. This, you see, let me ask you a question. Do you see your face
in a mirror?
Why do you need a mirror? But isn't it your face? It is your face, but you need a mirror to see it. It's almost the same thing as art. We do this art, but it's not for us. Your face is not for you. It's on you, but it's not for you. It's for other people. That's why they say, smile. The smile makes you feel good, but above all, it's for other people who see your face. Then the people bleach, everything is on the face. It's the same thing as art, that mirroring. And for us, art tutule no netulaba society. Society netambula, and then we sit down and then we start writing whatever we perceive. Usually we use our souls, that mind, will, and emotions. That's what we use most of the time when we are giving people things. But still, when we are receiving, kati nganze nnyumira nnyo okutambula mu bantu omunakutunuulira n'agamba yeggwe gwe mmanyi amaga nice manyi gw'omanyi yeggwe gwe mmanyi yeggwe muntu wange nze ani nnyonnyola Kenneth Mugabi iyo aho oteebye bannange mwana then atandika okuteekako paragraph bwani sitomanya kakkana tubere bakkakkamu now that feedback is priceless and you see let me add this. An artist or a musician or someone who is gifted, you cannot pay them their worth. What you do is reward them for the service. I don't know. Do I need to repeat that? An artist, someone with a gift, they are serving it to people. There's no amount of money that can quantify what they are giving. What you do is reward them.
That's deep.
Yes. Reward. Femo reward mwetufuna nti omuntu ajja kujja nga bannaye nkwetaaga tomalina kumanya you will bless my wedding and olaba nga annyonnyodde nakuba amasima ag'omuddiŋŋanwa nga olaba nti sente teziwera ogamba wano sivaawo sha wano sivaawo kulaba ninga you see the guy is actually pleading nogamba ne wakito egyo emitwalo 5 gyaganya egibuze okwongerako kendo oyimbe. This is what he can afford to reward, not pay. Payment and reward are totally two different things. So an artist kasa tuyingira ekintu ekyo mu bwongo wetuti nti n'obugagga we bujja it's a blessing we bangi bayimbye and they've changed people's lives and they're not rich and all that but most of the times tukulembeza nnyo ebyenfuna instead of first serving and then wait for the reward. Sometimes the reward doesn't come there and then because olugamba nti mpayo obukadde busatu and guess what, no funa that can reward only, yet your reward is actually
more than
5 times more than that. You get is I don't even know like bibuzabuze like nyinyi and I'm like I thought I would get this but then it is multiplied 7 times and like okay and still a gift it shall not give you money, it will make you sit with kings and princes.
Nkutegeera bulungi nnyo.
Tebayogera ku ssente awula bayogera nti ojja kutuula n'abalangira bakabaka. So that gift you have makes you kakati nze wenzijja wano ate nentandika okweragira ku ono antadde wali waggulu then doesn't make sense. Then your gift is for you to boast around and like mwana ompulya wendi wakabi okay ugamba when you acknowledge oli wakabi your reward ogifunye awo there and then awo oba ogifunye ovaawo oba omaze ogifuna nti afunye enduulu afunye enduulu zenyini Kafero yagamba enduulu ezizaala mizeeyi.
Mr. Mugabi, you have answered that very articulate in buli muntu asobola aina sigenda kwogera kintu bantu baloze nimba vuma naye buli muntu aina obwongo asobola okukiraba n'akitegeera like even to down to earth. And I think your answer is a bit similar from what Mr. Elijah Chitaka came and talked about music wafaliyo wa mioyo like the way he was singing about like we sing this music for the people ngabo badogambe nanti I can't see my face and it's chovolaba explanation Joe day which is really good for somebody to relate to nochitunulira mongeri eyo. And I only wish we had a lot of time kubanga kati no budo kubera late because we have other things to do but like I know everything is always like the plan. But I want to touch on your US mission trip, Jewakola Oja mu America Nokola tour. I've seen some pictures around. There's a lot of things abantu bagamba nti okutambula kulaba okudda kunyumya sibo luli abantu tebanjaging olw'oluganda lwange oluganda nkyalujjukira but in part of the places you went to you went to a lot of places but I'm in Detroit actually. I saw like you were in Motown in my city. Wano neighbor wankai singana limanyi mvuga wana kagari nezjo nekusarako. But the experience you got out there, and then when you went to New York.
No, it was Los Angeles.
Los Angeles, yeah.
Kansas. It was Detroit, Los Angeles, Kansas, and
Detroit,
Los Angeles, and Washington.
Okay.
So twasokera Washington, to Detroit, netugenda Kansas, you ended up in Los Angeles.
One thing I pointed out that was I paid attention to Endingidi waliojitambuza buli wamu. That was like, talk to me about that. Definitely. And how people abagira banga bagamba chi like chesha kuliko kugamba kantu Endingidi ne mu America.
Well, I've traveled. Okay. I've traveled Zambia, mostly naitambulira nnyo mu Africa. Zambia, Ethiopia, Malawi, Dubai. Still, everything ekintambuza is music. Everything music, buweereza. So, for example, the last time when I was in Malawi, we ended up in a Pakonde festival. There's a festival called Pakonde. And this guy, there's a Nigerian artist, he called me out specifically to play Endingidi. I'm like, guy, I can sing. Didn't you hear me sing? Play for us that thing. Because in Malawi, they call it Kaligo. They call it Kaligo. And there was one gentleman, very old. I think I might have put him on my Instagram. He had a totally different, he had an instrument that I didn't understand, made out of stones and, wires, but he played it and fascinating. So he's the only one who recognized it, and it's important, and it's because its job is to imitate a human voice. Wenganya okwogera oba ebigambo biganye nga I cannot say Endingidi yekubawo. Chovola most of the songs Endingidi imitating ayimba. So whenever I would go, it's mostly actually go in Malawi. Chechandaga, and I'm like, wait. Nze nyimba malobozi nkanyuze netebagawulidde. Natebawulidde Endingidi. And I'm like, okay, there's something about this instrument.
Yeah.
So when I try to kutambula unaona ngenda Endingidi. So when I got this opportunity, moving around USA, I moved on an international visitors leadership program. Yeah, called IVLP. And I was nominated, actually. They nominate you for that.
Oh, nice.
I was just nominated for the worker. You see, you're rewarded totally differently. I was just rewarded. And again, how those guys do their things, and then come back home, and maybe you pick a leaf or two. When atambula Endingidi jibaso kwanga okulaba, oh my goodness, African violin nedda 7 on Endingidi.
Bajita batambula
Endingidi. That bajita African violin.
Okay.
Nega nedda on Endingidi because it's and it's so fascinating that it has one wire. Only one wire. And people were like, how does it come up with all these sounds? And I'm like, I use a bow and these fingers, and that's it. Only 5 notes. That's it. If I add any other notes, I'm just sliding here and there. And I'm like, wow. They were so fascinated. And I had when we were in Kansas, Natula could train, I played it, and everyone was like looking at it, trying to understand it. They could not understand it. And guess what? You play, and then you don't ogoloza and and all of a sudden, they clap like, oh, you guys are paying attention. Then in the LA, what is the stars? The first thing I did, I played my YouTube feed, and guys, you remove their phones.
That's a recording.
And I'm like, oh wait, these guys. I realized that these guys putting on costumes of Spider-Man, Batman. Those guys, to take a picture, they charge you.
Yeah.
They charge you to take a picture in those costumes. I almost charge people to see me play.
Wanted to work put the money here before you do that.
Not that I was with a group of musicians from different countries, and I could not just sit there and play. But man, it fascinates just one instrument made out of wood, saiso and kabani. How it can fascinate people. The sound. I performed in Kansas, a small performance we had, and people were like, "Man, that instrument! Man, that instrument! Man, that instrument!" And it got me thinking that we talk about tourism, we talk about all this and that, selling Uganda. We have a lot of things that actually people can come and see. We have a lot of things that we can export, and for people to see, we have a lot of instruments that need development so that they can go out into the world and hey, chiva Uganda, Endingidi Uganda, and chiva Uganda, and man. Okutambula kulaba okudda kunyumya. I have a lot of kunyumya, but we are limited by time.
Yeah, I know. And this is why I feel sad because Mukama Wabaku, I had prepared like a long. I usually like to sit down when I get an opportunity to sit down with somebody. Banjagala, we walk because I've not even touched on your journey. I have segments that I do on the podcast, fun questions and stuff. But I wanted also to take this opportunity that you've given me to have a conversation with you. Maybe the 2-3 words you've said here will resonate with somebody. Naye, it's my plea. I would like to have you here. We walk through your journey in details. Usually I want to have that. I would connect with you on WhatsApp and see how we can schedule. I would love to have another conversation because I have some questions that maybe your fans would love to know about you, how you started music, your experience about stuff, things like that. Today I just picked on some of the highlights of things that you've done. But I have one segment that it's funny. It's fun. People like this. And I want to ask you before I let you go. What's the first thing you do when you wake up?
Breathe. Yes. And I breathe. I switch off the lights. I open the windows. I check my phone.
Yeah.
And about missed calls or messages. And then I go and prepare warm, like usually tea. To prepare my tea. Yes, and then I prepare things I'm going to use for gym.
What's your all-time favorite Ugandan food?
Matoke and luwombo, olw'ekinyeebwa nga mulimu akatiko, oba ekinyeebwa nga mulimu ennyama, oba ekinyeebwa plain. But I love luwombo.
If you were not a musician, what would you be doing?
Psychiatrist, because at campus my first choice would have been community psychology, but then I switched it to music. So I think I would have been a community work or something like that, which I am.
Yeah. Ozanya name is Zanyo. Actually, that's the thing too. I wanted to ask you about that, but like time na
Yes.
Njagala wetu funa kada kala. Tukena kogera kone kuside here because you talked about that. One artist you would love to collaborate with. It can be all over the world.
An artist I would have loved to collaborate. Johnny Drill, yelinye isosa kuja mu muongo bwange. There's a lady in Zambia called Wezi. Look her up. What else? Who else? Abasinga abambe njagala nina collaboration nabo nete zinafuna.
Okay. Oh wow.
But those two. Yeah.
Twesunze. Anyway, Mr. Mugabi, thank you very much for giving me this short time that we've covered quite a number of things and when we can have good time, I would love to have you back. It doesn't matter if it's tomorrow or next week. Then we can have a walk through your journey of music because I really want abantu basobola connecting on music. I mean, we already connect with it, but when we listen to your story, actually give us a deeper love for this because even we can focus on a song. Where were you, or what were you thinking when you were writing the song? Those are the type of things I like. Aliwa, where were you thinking when you this song? When somebody listens to that story, akakaimba tagenda kawuliriza kyekimu nga wadde akawuliriza osegera ndeze ebintu byenjagala nnyo on this podcast. So anytime we get time, I would love to come back here and we have that. But I want to thank you for being on my podcast for this, and I hope the listeners will enjoy this.
the apologies for and thank you for waiting.
Yeah,
Thank you for
I
waiting.
appreciate it.
My sincere apologies for everything that has went astray. And yeah, definitely we shall have another. Karingege ntegedde nti nno
Toliyo.
bibeera bwebiti. Nyengi ntegedde bibeera bwebiti, definitely.
Yeah.
I'll do better.
Yeah. Njagala nnyo covering obulamu bw'abayimbi. Ffe tubamanyidde mu music tukulaba ku stage. But things I try to focus on when I have artists here. What is your life like outside music? Obulamu kubanga ebintu tubimanya amawulire gatuwa Mugabi yayimbye wano, Mugabi yayimbye wano, Mugabi yayimbye. Omanyi some people even now think artists bayiba buyimbi bokka or like 24/7, but you guys have a life outside the stage. What oli ku stage olina byokwasaganya ebirala. So I want to bring those kind of stories. Hey there, my name is Bonnie Chibuka, the podcast host of the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. Thanks for watching and listening to my podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe. Also, leave a feedback on this podcast, so that's how we grow. Thank you very much and be blessed.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kenneth Mugabi. I hope you're watching the Ugandan Boy Talk Show. We have talked about quite a number of things and we are here to talk about more. Tune in, tovao, kwata lupapula ne kalamu. Yes, we have some notes to give.